Mic test on. Mic test. 3, 2, 1, and we are live. Welcome back, guys. This is day 52. Backtesting until unprofitable. Great. So today is Sunday, June 15th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to be backtesting ICT. I mean, there's no other strategy of the backtesting, so don't think of anything else. Um, yeah, we'll be doing this just with ICT. It's basically, I think I should rename it because I'm learning more on the power of three more here because I like wait for London to show its move and then trade the New York or even trade in London like the Judah swing for a few pips in the opposite direction, then also trade the real move in New York. So I think we should start with the session without getting late in the words. Right, let me remove the drawings. So currently you can see that we were in some kind of uptrend, and now yeah, I'm going to go on the higher time frame, especially the weekly. Mhm. Okay, when we go on the weekly, you can see that we were in an uptrend, and I think we still are in an uptrend because you can see we have break of structure, and this might be like some kind of corrective move into an order block, either this one or this one, and then you continue the uptrend. If we fail to respect this order block, then it's the downtrend. So I'd like to mark just this order block on the weekly. Sorry, I'd like to mark this one right here because it's the basis of this move. This one right here, this push to the upside. I'd like to mark it right there, or even mark this this candle actually from here to here. So this will be the weekly order block, and I think I'll give it another color. I'll give it like orange, and yeah, let's do it like that. So B weekly OB orange, top on right. Now when I go lower on the daily time frame, you can see that we are dropping the downside, considering that we also have a low here, which means we can either react on it or just take out this liquidity. But considering that we have some relatively equal lows here, I would like to see like these lows get taken out, and as we take them out, we might bounce off of this zone, this order block right here. We have these equal lows, previous equal lows, where are they? Alright, I don't have them, but I think I can use some other templates like this. Okay, good. So it's a PEL. Good. Now I'll go to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, you can see that we're dropping with good break of structures, which means what I would like to see in this day is a continuous drop to the downside. So today is Thursday, and which means we can get move to the downside. By the looks of using PO3, if we are in a downtrend, then we should have something like this, in the start of the week, push to the upside like this, then while the week in the middle of the week it's something like this, and yeah, this should be the week. So basically I think we have like Monday here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this expansion, or Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday is about going back, in the range, which means it will be very normal if the Thursday pushed even higher, but we'll see what the market does, and then we'll trade accordingly. Now Okay, there's nothing big to mark right here. We can just see that you have perfect closes below each lower low. And now I'll go to the 1 hour time frame right here. You can see we have some liquidity resting there, and it's currently 12, which means the next session's about the afternoon session's about to play out. So I would like to go to the next day actually. Okay, which is here. Haven't took out the lows yet, but maybe they will be taken out next week because actually, as we previously said, Friday is about most of the times going back in the range. So let's see what the market does, and then we will react accordingly. So this is on the 15 minute. Let me go on the 15 minute. Sorry, you can see that we have previous day high there, previous day low. We have this Asian session right there. Let's go slowly by slowly and see what it does. I'll use the 5 minute for timing my entries, and slowly by slowly. Okay, you can see we took out Asian lows by the start of London session. So what I would like to see, what might be possible, not what I would like to see, is an expansion to the upside as the false move, and then maybe you continue to drop. So this is how London is currently behaving, as you can see. Pushes high, takes out this high created in London as well. We have no shift yet, which means London is still, you know, hesitating to drop or fly, whichever it wants to do. So you can see that it continues to drop instead, which means, yeah, New York might either push higher or lower. So this is how New York is going. Nice. And as New York ends, I think you might see something here. We have a low it created, it took it out. The 15 minute, you can see it like this. But consider that we are also in a fair value gap. But on the 5 minute, you can see something like this. We have a fair value gap inside here. Okay, if it gets respected, then well and good, we can enter off of it and buy. So it doesn't get respected, you can see how the candles are closing, which means that we're respecting the 15-minute fair value gap, this one. So which means our drawn liquidity would be the previous day low, which is somewhere here. Okay, you can see that now we're in the kill zones. Now we get a clear shift in structure inside here. As you can see, we've got a very clear shift of structure. No fair value gap yet, and market is not showing any clear signs of flying. Looks like we're still respecting the 15-minute fair value gap, this one, and see how the candles are closing. Relatively equal lows, another liquidity generated. Okay, what kind of news was this? Yo, but what do we see here? I think the previous day high has been taken out on this news event. Previous day high was somewhere here. I see that the previous day high was taken out, which means that market has what should I call it? Rebalanced back to the, you know, how we were. It's about to form the weekly close, if I can say it like that. Yeah, because this is what it was looking like. We push up, drop. So Friday is doing this move right here. This move, this last move right there. Okay, now let's see what happens. later on in the day, because this is when your session has just started. So it continues to push higher, creates a fair value gap inside there. Doesn't get any good retracement, but it continues to push higher. Just for the distractions, we're back. So you can see London, I mean New York is really having a good expansion to the upside. And when you go to the weekly, I think this is about a shift, but you can see how this week is looking like. I think we're respecting this down close candle by some bits. We'll see. I'm back to the 5 minute now. You can see that the New York continue to push higher, and it consolidated a bit around before lunch hour. Let's see how PM session behaves. PM session drops by some bits. How does it look on the 15? Sorry. And this is how it looks in the 15-minute time frame. Let's start a new day then. So a new day has started. Have previous day high there, previous day low there. Weekly, it's looking quite bearish. Uh, back to sorry, back to the 5 minute. Then we still have our analysis standing. We want to see the liquidity below there get taken out. This right here, considering we have equal lows there, which means I would have my liquidity target set there, and I would like to see maybe New York like push higher. I mean London push higher, take out some highs then drop. And on the daily standpoint, you can see that we have the opening price somewhere here. Oh, opening price hasn't been printed yet. So Monday's opening price is here. This. Okay. Okay. London hasn't started yet, and Asia is already done. And as the day opens, you can see pushed high a few bits, then started to drop gradually. Gradually. This is the daily open. New York midnight open. Yeah. Mhm. So let's see what London does. You can see London opens and pushes really high, starts to fly, and going back to the 5 minute, can see that it reacted. London reacted off of this FPG, but no entry so far. But you might be wondering what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is I want to see maybe like some kind of manipulation in London. So since we opened below the midnight open, maybe we might expect this day to be, kind of bullish since we're on Monday, kind of bullish. Yeah, to print like a bearish week, then we might expect Monday to be kind of bullish, something like this. Then, Tuesday as well. Then Wednesday, get this big expansion. Wednesday and Thursday. Then Friday, does something like this to get a good weekly candle. But we'll see what happens. So far, you can see London started on the downside and is heading towards the daily open. 15 minutes. It's looking quite clean. It's like we're going to drop. And coming to think of it, you can see that we are rebalancing this big move from this high to this low. And see that we are dropping into this the midpoint zone. Hmm. Going back on the 5 minute, maybe we'll get an OTE for the expansion to the downside. So yeah, I would like to see this day drop, and I would like to enter an OTE. So from this high to this low, I just like to see a retracement in here. And how does it look on the 15? Yeah, 15 has nothing big in here except for this impression. So that will be the only way for us to enter targeting the downside or this or a block resting right here. And yeah, we'll target the downside on that. So let's see how New York behaves or the kill zones. In the 15 minute, you can see that we pushed higher, reached into this. I think it's the premium. We pushed it, got into OTE between this zone 0.618 and 0.779. Then started dropping, which means this will be a strong draw on liquidity as New York starts. Let's see what 830 does. So we push higher. We haven't touched this zone yet. We're still at 8. So 815, 830 opens like that. Let me go back to 5 minute. Okay, you need to move this somehow like this here. Okay. Let me move it back a bit. Now go on the 15 minute, you can see that this is a really good order block. This is the last up close candle we get here. And I got the 30 minute actually. It can also provide another and see how on the 30 minute it looks even more cleaner. So you push into it by a few bits, and then we start reacting. So let's see how market reacts to it. So we push right through it as New York opens, which means it's a really good breaker. It becomes a breaker for the day. So now what we would see is entirely, you can see that market created relatively equal highs here, and I think now the move would be something like this. Considering what price is doing, we first rebalanced here. You can see we reached into discount, pushed higher, and when we go in the 30 minute, you can see we disrespected this order block and pushed up higher than it using this fair value gap, created an um, respected this fair value gap and this breaker as well, because this is a breaker block. It's a breaker plus fair value gap. So basically Monday is doing the expression to the upside, and you can see that we took out a low in our journey to sorry, let me push this here. We took out a low in our journey to discount, which means we can have an entry here at 10, saying that we have a sweep here and we have a good shift inside here. and my entry will be on this here, and I would like to use the 15-minute for the entry. So you can see how the breaker is fair value gap, which means my stop loss will be right there, and I would like to target the previous day high. That will be the next draw on liquidity. And when I go on the 5-minute, you can see how clean the setup looks here. So back to the 15-minute now. Let's see how this setup plays out. Risking 1%. And I'll add the screenshot. Save, then start this trade, this move. Let's see what happens in here. So it's just dancing around. And we end up hitting stop loss by the next day open. So I don't think we even got a one-to-one here. No one-to-one was even provided there. So yeah, it was just basically a simple manipulation day, as we can see it. Let's remove this breaker, and remove all of this. I would like to see how the daily closed. So this was a Monday, this one closed bearish. And how does it look on the daily standpoint? Looks like we're going to continue to drop until we take out this level, this draw on liquidity. I'm going to our, I think our next draw will be then this. Let's now go to the 15. Okay, previous day high, previous day low, Asia session in play. Let's simplify it. Good. You can see this is how Asia session is looking like. And now I'll put, okay, yeah, the daily open was here, and we opened and pushed above it, which means I would like, on the day I would like to see it drop. Okay. I'm going to 5 minute and simply wait for London to do its thing. So London has just opened and we drop right into the daily open. And the 15-minute, it's a really crazy drop. We took out Asia high, then we shifted structure here. Shifted structure here, and then we get a retracement into this fair value gap. So from this high into here, maybe we would at least push inside until there for that to be a valid entry. Then we continue to drop until London ends. Let's see how the kill zones behave today. So we took out the previous day low, which was another draw on liquidity that we had, and at 8 get a crazy push. Okay, is the 15 looking like? Okay. This day wasn't really as clean as it could have been, because what I can accept is that we took out this low here, we shifted structure here, no fair value gap provided so far. Okay, well, we respected this one, yeah. really, really crazy. Go to the next day open. You can see now the draws on liquidity there and there. The midnight open is right here. So this is Wednesday. So Wednesday is you know, it doesn't really look quite well. But when we go back to that weekly, sorry, see how the wicks are closing, like with these long wicks. Maybe you're respecting this gap. I mean this OB in here, but we'll see it clearly depending on how the candles continue closing. On the daily, you see this low has failed. We failed to break below this low, which means if we shift, it will then be a mystery. And then 1 hour. In the 1 hour, you can see that we pushed above the daily open, dropped again, and then continue to push above, which means we have on just this week below the daily open, and everything else is above here, which means today might be actually bullish and maybe take out a good draw liquidity such as these highs, these eco highs. Going on the 15, next day opens. Okay, good. So then day opened here. New York midnight is here. Previous day high rating there and the low. And we take out the previous day high immediately. Wow. As London session opens, London creates a really, really big gap that I don't think we will retrace to. I think on the 1 hour we're now approaching the eco highs. We actually even took them out, which means we are bullish. So far you can see how this market maker model is looking really, really clean from here. And see how this model is looking really, really clean. Drop and then push to the upside. Good. And this would be our next draw since we've already shifted. And when I go to the daily, you can see that we didn't have to drop until there, respected this gap, then started to push higher. So now we would like to target these highs as our next draws on liquidity. Now when I go to the 1 hour, you can see how London's opened. 15 minutes, and let's see how the day plays out. Okay, we get a crazy week because of some news, consumer price index, CPI, and after the news event, consolidate a bit. The 5 minute now. Hmm, nothing big yet. Okay, now this will make sense. CPI did this, shifted structure here, and we return back to the daily open. And we get a retracement into this gap. How is the 1 hour looking like? So on the 1 hour, we took out this high. And on the 4 hour a bit. The 4 hour, you can see that we took out these highs, resting above here. Really good sweep. And I think this was actually a rebalance as well. Balancing of price from this high, this low. Sorry, this was the lowest low. You can see that we went back into OTE, this range right here. Week pushed into 0.608. And then maybe I would like to see this model shift now and start going to downside. Yes, 4 hours looking good. Now I'll go to 1 hour. See how this day is about to play out. So it's Friday. I have the open there, and the 15. I have the sessions right there. So you can see how London is behaving so far. I would like to go to 30 minutes a bit. 30 minutes, you can see that we're in this fair value gap right there, and I don't think that we've rebalanced this whole drop yet. But the reason I don't think we will even rebalance it is because this high was caused by news. So we can't do all this rebalancing. We can't push up to back there. But what I would like to see here is that we are currently in this gap right here to here, and when I extend this gap, you'd see that we pushed into what the E of the into the upper half of the gap. And by that, that's the 30 minute. We took out this high, dropped, shifted, retraced into a fair value gap, and our drawn liquidity would be this previous day low. So when I go on the 15 minute, like to mark this first, this sweep. I've got my shift here, shifting structure, and I've got a good fair value gap resting in there. And well, we have some, OBs in here which tended to break us, which might just conclude that this model will be a good one to take us to this drawn liquidity, take pressures on London lows, then uh, full profit is took off on the previous day low right there. So it will give us like a 1 to enter there. I go to the 5 minute to refine the entry more better. Can put my stop loss somewhere there. How's the 5 minute looking like? 15. Sorry. I would extend my stop loss above to make it a full 1 to 3. Risk 1%. I'll take the screenshot. Now let's see how this works. Straight stop out. Oh my God. Look at this candle. Look at this. Look at this. Take out these highs, we drop tremendously, and I'm very sure that it will reach the previous day low. See, so we get filled really quick, and yeah, I would say that this trade was a good one, even though we hit stop loss. Mhm. I'd like to copy this image. Okay, after taking out this previous day low, you can have now confirmation that we might rebalance and then continue to the downside as the day goes on. So what news were these? PPI. Oh God. And when is this? At 10. So let's see what basically the rest of the day does. So we trace back into the midpoint of this drop. Yeah, back into discount. Then start dropping. All right. Let's uh, let's start the new day. Remove these drawings. Okay, first off, I'll mark right here. Take out the previous day low. Okay, we actually took it out. Even just the moment it started, we took it out on Sunday. Just the moment Sunday opened, and when we go to the weekly, you can see how this week has really has opened. Wait, is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. So we opened and pushed a bit high, created this low, and I think I'd like now to go to 15. So first off, I still think we will drop on the daily. Daily is looking clean as well. Took out this liquidity resting here, reaction on OB, and then I expect a tremendous push. Take out these lows, and if possible, take out this one as well. And what I'll do is that I'll go on the 1 hour. I'd like to mark a good sweep here. Have these lows, these highs taken out. I'm gonna go to the 15-minute. Oh god, there's no near shift, but maybe some retracements would show us a good shift. Okay, so do we reject? We're still in London, but London is about to end. That's why I'm standby here, because we have a sweep on the 1 hour here, and we shifted on this low, created this big FVG, and we retrace back into it. So as London is still playing, maybe New York might expand to the downside, as this will be the first false move, push to the upside, and then New York drops. So I would like to have my trade within this range. So first off, I'll target these lows, these ones that took out the Asian range, and that will give me like a 1 to 2 hour. So it's still 5 5:30, which means we're still in New York, sorry, London, I risk 0.5 because of these consecutive losses that I'm getting. It looks like the gap's about to be respected. Okay, respect it and drop, and we end up hitting take profit. Good trade here. And going back to the 15 minutes, you could see how good New York is going to look like. So New York is already here. And actually on the 15-minute, you can see that we also have this good gap right here. So if you manage to time your entry in here, just as right there, you'll have a really good drop. And you can see how the day continues to expand, even though we took out our profits. But you know, if you hold some and let it fall, you can get very good R's on your trade. You can see how clean this looks. This is the cleanest day I've seen so far in this session. Wow. And though I took just one trade, but I know, I can do it again and again and again for these clean setups. And we end up going back into at the open of the day because we're at Monday. Still, this is Monday, so you end up going back at the open. And as the day progresses, we continue to drop. So I think that was all for today's backtesting session. Uh, Thanks for watching this. If you really reached this level, and until we meet again, stay blessed. Peace.